Hey, what's up guys, your boy Terrence Ruff here with my 4 tips to help you present yourself better on stage. So tip number 1, one thing I see a lot of times on stage, and you see it on the amateur level to the pro level, and that's people taking steps forward to make themselves look bigger on stage. Now, I'm not saying for you guys to be the one to initiate this. I'm just saying pay attention to the people next to you, because people are very, very slick. My whole time on the Olympia stage, I see Breon, I see Chris, they're taking big steps forward. And I'm just, you may see this one scene where I'm like looking at them like, what are you guys doing? Like, you know? So definitely pay attention to your surroundings when you're on stage. It's very, very important, because even just that one step forward will make them look tremendously bigger when compared to you being on stage. My posing tip number 2 is, I know we're in classic physique. I know everyone likes to upplay that about the classic posing and whatnot, but when you're posing next to people in comparison round, make sure you just do your standard front double, back double with your hands completely closed. Don't do any of the twisting, the angling and stuff like that, because even just from my own personal experience, it looks good, like from a symmetry standpoint and stuff like that. It flows and everything like that, but you tend to look a little bit smaller a lot of times when people just hit it on a traditional way. I got pictures of me next to Breon, and I'm trying to look all classic in my first classic show, which was my first pro show. And I'm like, man, I will never do that again, because just of that reason right there. Like I said, and then the judges don't really care for it either. The judges like for people to be very, very cut and dry when they're posing a lot of times. Even with the classic poses, I've heard judges come out and say don't do all the, they don't like flashy stuff, which surprises me unless you do it right most of the time. But even then, a lot of people don't like people to do ground poses and things like that, which honestly surprised me. But obviously that's what the judges want. So you just give them what they want. They're the one that tells you whether you win or lose. So tip number 3 would be, this also plays into pay attention into your surroundings, but tip number 3 would be pay attention to how the judges are calling the poses. Pay attention to their pace. I like people to take the time to get into poses, but if the judges are really cranking out, going fast, and you need to pick up the speed. You maybe need to take out some of your cool transitions to get into poses and just get straight into it, because especially at the national level, there's 1,000 people. The judges are there from like, I don't know, 7 in the morning till like 1 at night, well, 1 the next morning. And a lot of times they don't want you to do all that extra stuff. They want you to get into the pose so they can judge you and they can move on. So if you're taking too long and you're not getting into poses, that's going to only hurt you. So just pay attention to the judges. Pay attention to how big your show is, because that's usually going to be the thing that determines how quickly the judges are going to be calling each and every pose. And the last tip of the day, tip number 4. Tip number 4 is posing trunks. Now, I use Chula Wear, Chula posing trunks, just because she has a lot of different cuts. And finding a cut that works for you is very important. Now, obviously she's the expert in this, so ask her, DM her. I'm not the expert. I know my body, but ask her, because she's really good with this. This is what she does day in and day out. But say for instance, you have like a very long like hip bone, like your hips are very long. You may need a bit larger trunks. Let's say for instance also you're not quite as lean as you want to be, so your glutes aren't completely in. That's another reason to get some longer trunks as well. If you really want to highlight your shredded inside and out, your peel from top to bottom, your glutes are striated, then you want to get those smaller trunks and really highlight that feature for you. So picking trunks that fit your body is a very, very important thing as well. And on top of that, wearing your trunks properly is important. I see a lot of people, they have their trunks too low. They have them like pretty much flat. What's the body part? Below their, like a little bit below their obliques. You want to kind of raise those up a bit, and that actually kind of helps you look a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? It helps you to look Has your waist, it makes you look a little bit more symmetrical. Your waist will look a little bit smaller just because it adds to the V. Like the underwear is in a V shape, and that's kind of the reason why you see women do it all the time. Women highlight that to the to the max. Look at any figure girls posing trunks. Those things are hiked up way above their obliques. Now I'm not saying you guys need to do that, but kind of have them at a V, and that actually help you look a little bit better on stage as well. It's kind of the main reason too. You'll see. Obviously, there's less fabric, but also why people look so much better in the new style of classic trunks as opposed to the older style, since they were just flat across the board boxers or whatever. But those are my tips for today. Hope you guys liked them. If you like this, I can do another 4. I don't know why I picked 4, but 4 is the number of the day. And until next time, peace.